The Roots of Success podcast is for the landscape professional who's looking to up their game. We've got a brain trust of experts to help you nurture the roots of a successful business and grow to the next level. This is the Roots of Success.
Welcome. This is Tommy with Roots of Success podcast, and I've got an awesome guest, Gene Freeman. Big Gene. It's about time that we have finally got together, but we're in the same location. And so this is just going to be an awesome sort of episode. Gene, tell us about where you're at, what you do, Dallas, Texas, everything, Complete Landsculpture. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tommy.
Yeah.
Complete Landsculpture, we're in Dallas, Texas as our headquarters. We have an office also in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And this will be our 40th year. So my business partner, Chris Drempek, founder of Complete Landsculpture, I founded it 39 years ago. So we're entering into our 40th year.
Lots of things, lots of changes, lots of growth. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we were forever a design build landscape firm, you know, for probably the first 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And the last 20, I would say we really started to focus in on a little more diversity, focusing our number one goal at Complete Landsculpture is grow maintenance.
Maintenance. All right. So this is the stage.
Yeah.
Construction. I'm with you. Like, I love construction. It's the coolest part.
Yeah.
It's the most challenging at that time. But back in the day when I was running a landscape company with all our partners, the thing called recession hit in 07, 08, and you experienced that.
We did.
Wholeheartedly, right? But did it change at that point, like more maintenance, or was it further down the road a little bit?
Maintenance was always the kind of the add-on at the end.
The
right?
back
it
end.
wasn't the back end of it. So it wasn't a forward thought, mindset to it. But once we kind of really saw how good maintenance was with the recurring revenue and kind of stabilizing things, it's nice to go into the year with a $13 million backlog of annual maintenance contracts. And then all the enhancements that come on top of that, trying to achieve 50% of enhancement value in dollars on top of that maintenance contract.
Yeah.
It really started to set us up and start to be able to build and grow. We can still do the $20 million in design build every year, but as long as our maintenance continues to grow, we're going to continue to grow beyond that as well.
So, Gene, talk about some couple of tactical things for our audience. If you're looking to grow more in maintenance, which we all encourage, especially across our peer groups and of our network, the reoccurring revenue, the consistency, what were some tactical things that you guys had to change within your group to say, this is how we get more maintenance?
Well, we had to stop treating it like, the stepchild. We really had to treat it as, an awesome division in itself and championing it, because with the maintenance becomes, all the tree work and all the irrigation repairs and all the reciprocal and maybe a phase 2 renovation out there on their property and things. So it was a mind focus, change that really kind of did. The mindset changed. And
it started with you and Chris.
It was right. It was us, for sure. And once we saw that, the team, they bought into it and they really understand it. And if you walk through our office, doesn't matter which team member you ask, they're going to say, what's the number one goal at Complete Landsculpture? And they're going to say, grow maintenance.
Yeah.
Which, hindsight, we should have had that mindset at the beginning of the business and continue to do that. But we might not be fast learners, but we definitely aren't dumb. So we learn and it's been a great.
Yeah. So it's changing the mindset. You and Chris have to say, look, this is what we're going to focus on right now. And it's going to change we got to change the mindset of not us, but it's the team. It starts with us as the ownership, and it kind of goes throughout the leadership team everywhere else. What are some tactical things about, did someone focus on business development or relationships, or were you able to sort of grab some low hanging fruit of some install work that you were already doing that can transfer into maintenance?
We did, we really kind of put that at the forefront when we're talking to individual clients about the initial meetings on design and build, and you want to do this pool and you want to do this beautiful backyard and these elaborate gardens and maybe boxwoods and parterres and, sheared hedges and things, this is also going to impact your maintenance costs on the backside. So making sure that you want to do that. By the way, this is what we do. So we'll go ahead and take care of the maintenance afterwards. And you should expect that this is going to be X dollars per month going forward with this type of a garden setup, and so getting the buy-in from the people and really kind of educating them on the front side so that it wasn't an afterthought. It was really kind of sold at the beginning of the deal. That was the shift. And then, we went to relationships and It's one of our 3 core values. Relationships matter at all levels. And for us, it was going back to our clients and asking them, letting them know this is a service that we've always had, but we've
but may
never
not
really,
even know.
yeah,
Right.
we didn't market it, we didn't
Right.
champion it. And so they didn't know. And then we really had to look at our team, and our team's done, amazing job with it. They've taken this thing and they're driving the force behind this now, from our maintenance business development team out there in the marketplace, and getting on the RFP lists and getting bids and doing all the commercial and HOA and shopping centers, hospitals, those kind of properties. And then, what we call a TLC program, transitioning from landscape to the care program, of making that a mindset and a focus for our team to have those conversations. And, we know we may just done a general cleanup for you or tree work for you, but we also do the maintenance. If we're here, we can see this stuff, 52 weeks a year.
Yeah. You said some really interesting deal. We talk about this, the enhancement value on maintenance properties. I think back in our days, it was about a 1-to-1 ratio. When I mean 1-to-1 ratio, one for every dollar of contracted value that you service is $1 versus enhancements. In the commercial world, it's different, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned it's 50% of the contracted value. How did you get to learn that? And what is that a goal of Complete that you have learned? And it might be easy for you to understand, but like the whole team has to understand in order to set those goals to go after.
Right. So we call them the KPIs, and so different divisions need different measurements, different targets to hit. And so we know in our commercial estimating, we're going to bid about $50 million worth of work to go ahead and get about $8 million.
Yeah.
So we're going to be at that kind of a 18%, success rate on just bid stuff. And then our design build stuff, we're going to be north of 50%, so we're going to win about 50% of that work. And so of that, we're going to bid probably around 30 million. So we're going to get close to 15 million on that. On the enhancements, residentially, it's 1-to-1, so if they're going to be $1,000 a month account, it's $12,000 a year. They're going to spend more than 12,000 with their sprinkler repairs, their modifications, the tree work, the mulching, the flowers, the additional shrub replacements and things they do. Those are great clients.
Yeah.
And then commercially, it's really about, focusing on budgeting.
Okay.
We do a great job with our leadership team. We have a gentleman there, Scott Freeze. He and I worked together when I was 19 years old, actually at another firm, and he's on our team. And we work together, and he's really doing a great job with mentoring and coaching up our account managers, and to go ahead and create the budget for your clients for what they're going to need for the next 12 months. And we're doing that work in July.
Very proactive.
July and August, we're doing that because they're doing their budget September, October, typically, for turning that into their, their corporate or their budgeting purposes. And then that's blessed, before January 1. So we can go ahead and let them know, hey, we had this budgeted, you got it done, you got it approved, everything's good. But we let you know your mulch is going to be X, your 3 color changes are going to happen in these months, in this time frame, your tree work, your irrigation repairs. You spent X thousands of dollars last year. If we prorate that out over 12 months, you've got $800 a month in irrigation repairs. These are things that we can help them with the budget. It makes it so much easier when they get it into their budget ahead of time versus having to go and scramble and try and find the money and just say, well, we're going to put that off. We're not going to do it.
It's a partnership.
It is.
Right. And you're the professional in this industry. So you suggest these things so they become more equipped with their building and their finances. I mean, they've got 80 other things working on, right? To build all kinds of other things.
Right.
If you can align yourself with a strategic partnership, say, we're here for you.
Yeah.
This is how you understand it. Best case scenario, that is going to be win you over on everything, because they're going to trust you as a partner. And then, sounds good, Gene, sign me up for it. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, and that's it. People buy from who they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
And if you don't build that relationship and they don't get to know you, it's hard for them to like you. And then if you can perform and do what you say you're going to do, they're going to trust you, And so, a lot of our team members, they've got the relationships to the point now that, they send out an irrigation inspection and they send it out and say, hey, these are your needs. These are your should do's. And these are coming down the line that we kind of got to work on this. So you need to do this much. And they're like, okay, you think I need to do that? And yes, let's do it. So it's just, they're not going out there looking to see the valve and see every head that we're talking about and things. built the trust. And so they know that.
Trust
which
is most
great.
important. And when they trust, it's not about a numbers game on a
No.
price. They just get it done.
Right.
But it's going to take time.
It
Like
does.
whatever you say you're going to do, you got to do it.
Right.
Like if you don't perform, then there's the break in the trust. So you couldn't sell anything.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. We're going to switch gears. Leadership team. Man, I get this question a lot, especially for young companies or smaller companies are like, what does a leadership team look like? Man, that is a whole different scenario. Like going from owner operator things, you've been through the battles for all these years with Complete, but now you've developed this team. Like take us back a little bit, like how you developed it, finding people. Is it more divisional roles and it's not like managing landscape. Now you're managing people. Tell us about that process.
Yeah. It's the human capital of our business, which as owners, it's really one of your most important things. If you take care of your team, the team will take care of the work, and do that. And so for us, it happened, it was actually 11 years ago when it kind of clicked for us and was from, working with Jim and Jason and these guys, coming in and just kind of pointing out that Chris and I can't do it
you were
all.
involved in everything.
Yeah. And you can't be, and you also want to develop talent. And we realized that we have some really talented people. We didn't want to bottleneck or put constraints on our operation. And we also wanted to grow our team. And so initially it made sense for those that were at a level of participation to add value, in those conversations, in those meetings, who could move the needle, who could make a difference, and how can they take the message and take it and push it out to their teams and their people. So yeah, we've got 10 on our team
10
now.
on the team.
Yep. So
and talk about some of their job titles or roles.
So we've got everything from office positions.
Okay.
We've got director of maintenance, director of landscape operations. We've got a general manager in Oklahoma that runs the construction up there. He's been up there for 25 years. Day one hire, first hire up there in that office. So they zoom into the meeting. Then we've got another gentleman up there in Oklahoma that he was the foreman when he came on with us, and then account manager. And then now he runs the maintenance business development and account managers up there and runs that team. And they're very successful and doing well. So it's good to have their input. And it's good to get all the branches. So it's not just, hey, this is what we do in Texas, so we're doing it that way everywhere. Actually, even in Texas, we came up in Oklahoma, we went up there and we were going to kind of do the same thing and do design, build, residential and commercial. And we quickly learned that if we're not going to add the support staff that it takes to support the residential factor and hire architects and turn stuff around and have more elements that it takes to do the residential, then we shouldn't be doing it. And so we don't. We just do all commercial in our Oklahoma City and Tulsa branches. But we're able to do that with 4 managers. 4 managers manage 50 guys between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, 55 guys this year. And everything else is supported from Dallas on the backside for, payroll and finance and those kind of things. But they're able to, operate really lean and mean and it works really well for us up there.
Yeah.
And then in Dallas too, we've also got other team members that are maybe business development, maybe sales manager, HR, has a big component in there, and then some others in our finance team. So it's a well-rounded team that kind of covers all of our parts, because sometimes you start talking about, hey, we want to make this investment in a certain division, and this other division we didn't even think about. How does that impact them? Is that a good thing? Is that a net positive thing for the whole company? Or is it just too myopic, too tunnel visioned of this one thing, and we don't realize the ripple effect it may have over here? And so getting their input into it really helps us a lot.
Yeah. This is a good question. So how do you run a leadership team? I think that's the hard part. There's one-on-one meetings, right, with some direct reports, but you got to get everybody in the room. You got to have this thing called a meeting, right? And it could last for hours. No, it could have no agenda. You could get complacent. That's a big deal. So talk about getting people in the room. What do you review in a leadership team? And then how does that deployed out? How often do you meet? Help our audience understand from your background.
Yeah. So for us, I mean, it's some trial and error initially. Yes. It was clunky. It was like you said, we thought we had this information and we'd start on this and, and we'd we'd meet and we'd be in this room, and next thing you know, you look up and it's like 6 hours and you hadn't even got to 50% of the content yet. And we're like, oh my gosh, my head's spinning.
We got to do better.
So we did. So we created an agenda. We follow that agenda. We actually send the agenda out a day or two ahead of time, and everyone kind of sees what's on there. They know that, hey, this is my 30 minutes and I'm going to speak to everything maintenance, and they're just given bullet points. It's not even a question period. We don't even ask them questions during there. This is what we got. Here's our numbers. We were 12% above target, and these are my issues I have going on in my department right now. These are our wins. This is, what we see coming down the pipe. And the next month we kind of forecast, this is where we think we're going to land and be. And so they share all that.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the next division. And then we move on to the HR, and they give us the updates on our staffing, on any injuries or people out of work or anything that we have to deal with at that time. And then there's a section in there. It's just called IDS. So it's for issues that we've got to solve or be discussed upon. So people will send those in ahead of time.
Like hot topics, like we need answers or direction.
Yes. So then those are up there, and there might be, someone might not send any that month, or they might have 5, and so we get them up there, we look at them, and then we all rank them together. So we'll tackle them, what's most important? What does the group think's most important? This is one. We got seasonal color coming up, so we got to go ahead and make sure our supplier is ready to go. And, if our H2B, where we at with getting our forms turned in and getting all that back, and how's that going to impact us, and what timeline are we going to shoot for, and how many do we need next year with our growth plan and what we're doing. And so those things will come up, and then we'll sit there and we'll tackle those. And those are typically, some of them are just, as quick as 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Some of them might be 15 minutes, but we have an agenda to that, and that fits in that agenda. And then we have our rocks. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll tackle those projects. We know they're going to be bigger. We know they're going to take a little more time.
Improvement projects.
And they may be something that's going to be over the course of the whole second quarter for us to get it done. Yeah. Updates, timelines towards the deadline and where we're at. If we're doing something with, software innovation or something like that. And so it goes well. We meet once a month.
Okay.
It's always the last Wednesday of the month. We start.
And what's the reason the last Wednesday of the month?
It just worked for us because we're trying to get our financials
from the previous month,
we're getting that closed out. We're trying to get that information. Ideally, we have that financial sent out also 2 days ahead of time. Yeah. Everyone can kind of review it and poke holes in it. And if they have questions, they can shoot those questions back to maintenance. Hey, I see here you had this large expense in small tools, and that really kind of threw your budget off.
Most common little bucket.
Right. So we can go ahead and ask what that is ahead of time, and they'll come to that meeting with that answer versus we're in the meeting. Well, I'm not sure. Let me get back to you. They already have the answer, and so trying to streamline it and make it effective. It's an expensive meeting. Obviously we got, 10 of our top leaders in the company stopping down, getting together for collectively, once a month. And so we start at 8 and we typically get done about 1:30. We bring in lunch and we kind of make that format work and follow for us. Yeah. It also lets us put something out there on the target that everyone knows.
That's where we're going.
People are traveling on Mondays and Fridays, or maybe a Thursday or something. So Wednesday kind of worked for us. It's middle of the week. Yeah. You can go, if you're going to, someone says, hey, can you do this trip, or can you do this or do that? We know I got this one meeting. I really need to be at this one meeting on this Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so it works well for us.
Yeah. If you didn't develop the leadership team, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, absolutely not.
There's no way that you and Chris could have done that.
No.
Also, if you don't develop the leadership team, then you're potentially going to lose some really key players in the organization. Yeah. Like they're going to go elsewhere and go, I'm going to do my own thing. I got somewhere else to be. As you grow, you have to elevate
100%
other team members. Now, that's not everybody.
Right.
People are comfortable sometimes, but the A ones that really want to advance their career, you got to provide a seat. And that's the seat to elevate those teams and empower them to own it and move on.
Yeah. I mean, we're here at Grow right now, in Columbus, Ohio, and we've got 6 new timers, first timers coming to Grow. And it's amazing to do that and see our industry. It's not just their task or their desk or their sales, or they're a production manager, or they manage the maintenance irrigation department. They get to see this big green industry that we're all part of, and develop these relationships that you and I both have and we cherish. And it's a great resource and a great tool for us to lean upon our peer groups. Those kind of things. We can pick up the phone and reach out to, 1 of 12 people and get an answer back with some honest feedback without having to go through the trial and error and maybe the investment and the loss of time, or how did you handle this? Or does anyone have an experience share on this that might be helpful, an insight for us to take and make that decision. But having some of those team members here, we have 2 of them that were in the field in production. They were hourly, labor type employees, just a year ago, and they're doing amazing in the last 12 months in their new roles. And it's funny because, we have 280 team members at the busy peak part of the time in 3 cities. And we don't know everybody, you don't physically know or get to see the whites of their eyes every single day like other people, other team members do. And so if we can push that message and that culture down on what they're looking for, and then we also show a career path visually, in our offices, in the warehouses and the banners and things where it has, a lead man, you make X. Or a labor, you make X, a lead man, a foreman, a supervisor, all the different things up to the wall and what the pay is and how they get there and things. That was really good. We picked that up at Grow, down at Summit, and we championed it. And it's the best form of flattery is copying somebody that's doing something really well. So but they find the people. They say, this person's ready. And I'm like, really? That person? You think so? That one? Really? And I'm like, if they say yes, I mean, they're right 9 out of 10 times, and so, we back them and support them. And it's great because they're actually training these team members, and they're mentoring and coaching them too, so that they don't just, stay in irrigation tech and, I can make another $1 an hour. I'm going to go over to this company, and we lose all the time and training and knowledge we had on the 65 properties that took 3 years to learn. And so we keep them on and they have a chance to move up. It's great.
Yeah. Grow is an amazing opportunity to bring your team. I mean, we can sit here and talk about it as leaders and take it to our team, but when you get out of the facility, you got to that 4 walls and a roof that you're so accustomed to seeing every day, and you get to see it something else, network with other people in the same, I'm a project manager, or you're a project manager. How do you do? It's life-changing to go to these events for people like that are middle management, field staff, et cetera. It's a great place to be. Another topic I want to talk about is profit sharing programs. You didn't have this years ago. And now you do, which is probably a game changer. You probably have messed it up and learned some things of what not to do, but
it's a good and bad thing, because, with that, you're on the hook for transparency, but
when you got to have the metrics behind it in a leadership team to understand, like, this is what we're going to do.
Sure. And, sharing that information, good or bad, ultimately it's the final scorecard, right? And so if you have a great, quarter and you make profit and stuff, you can go ahead and pay that out. So we actually we share 20% of the profits with the entire team. So you have to be there for 90 days and then you're eligible for the next quarter that's profitable. And we do that, so there's been some periods where we've hit, 3 out of 4 quarters were profitable, and they've got a check, each of those quarters and stuff. We kind of did it that way versus waiting for it to all build up at the end of the year and getting one check.
That's 12 months of waiting and how you're doing. But if you've got some little wins along the way.
Yeah, it's nice. And, some of those things are, it's another paycheck for a field level person. I mean, it's a major deal for them, and trying to, showcase and do that. And then, when we don't hit goals, 2024 was not a record banner year for most people in our industry, construction being down. And so unfortunately, another reason to grow maintenance, right? To still be able to keep everybody and do everything you need to do. But with construction down, not having the profits and sharing that information, it comes better than, hey, it's Christmas time, I guess I get a Christmas bonus. We don't do Christmas bonuses. We do profit sharing bonuses. And so we report that and do. The other thing I was going to say too is that, the leadership team and stuff coming to Grow, these 6 team members that are here with me this one, we're going to collaborate and we'll sit down and we'll do everything and kind of pull it together and what nuggets and which sessions they went to and what they got from that. We'll compile all that. And I'm not going back and sharing it with the team.
Yeah.
They're each going to go back and share their part with
What's
the
their
team,
take? What do they learn? Yeah.
and they're going to present that, so while they're here, the team members are back home, taking care of the crews and
They're
production and
anticipating
doing
coming back
everything.
with some.
And they're picking up the extra slack, and these
Yeah.
guys are going to bring back and help make our team stronger and raise
Yeah.
the bar. Yep.
Yeah, that's your ROI there. I mean,
Yes.
it's a lot of money to go to places,
Sure.
but then you go back, you sort of degress, you got a few takeaways, let's implement it, let's put a timeline, let's
Right.
put a deadline on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we did nothing when we got back, then you've done nothing.
Yeah. What was this
It's
for?
waste.
It's
It's
just
waste.
it's self-fulfilling, and it
Self-fulfilling.
doesn't really help the
Yeah.
whole team. And things that we learn here sometimes will help our Oklahoma branch.
Yeah.
Because it's a secondary branch. There's better ways to do inventory or controls or things of that nature where they can do it streamlined, easier, and get that information back to Dallas versus maybe hard counting and doing these kind of things and stuff. So we learn a lot, and it's great.
Yeah, it's good. So, Gene, we got a huge announcement here.
We do.
A very big announcement. This is sort of hot off the press, but Grow 2026 is coming. We're exactly 1 year away. Gene, take it away. Where are we headed?
Yeah, we're super excited. We're going to be at home next year.
Yeah, we're gonna be home.
Texas. We had never come to a Grow event, but 2026 we'll be at Complete Landsculpture in Dallas, Texas, and we'll have over 1,000 landscapers.
Are you sure? Are you ready for this, Gene?
We are ready.
You signed the dotted line.
We are ready. Yes,
Yeah.
we are excited.
Yeah.
They say if you want to get stuff done, go ahead and schedule a party. I mean, you're gonna adjust everything, you're gonna fix everything, you're gonna do those kind of things and really tighten up some of your operations and things. And we actually had never been to Grow, and we hosted in 2016, 10
That's
years
what I was
ago.
thinking.
We were $13.5 million company.
10-year
It's a 10-year
anniversary.
anniversary.
Wow.
And we're super proud of what we've done in those
Yeah.
10 years. And the team's come a long way, and they'll be very prepared for it. And yeah, we're excited to share that.
What a
with them
better
and show it
way.
off.
This is a great thing. You're going to be the only one that's ever hosted twice.
Sweet.
This is going to be great. 10 years down the road, they're going to see some progress. They're going to see some things. They're also going to see some things that we screwed up. Like
Yeah.
it just did not work.
Yeah.
But tell me why did you want to do this? Like this is a huge effort. It's a 12-month sort
Get
of
ready.
prep,
Yeah.
get ready, involved, but I feel like you just want to improve,
Yeah,
right? And you've got new people
we do.
that haven't been there in 10 years. They don't have an understanding what it's like. So what are you hoping to get out of this?
I remember when we did it the first time, it was a lot of work and we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And the team really came together and galvanized over it. They set metrics in place for themselves and for us. And they had so many great ideas
Mhm.
for improvement and things. And then from that, getting our start, stop, and keeps, and those kind of things, we took all those nuggets. So basically we get 1,000 consultants into our office that are doing the same thing we're doing on
Yeah.
various levels and things to come in and look through our underwear drawers, as
Yeah.
Marty says, and,
Yeah.
and, make us better. I think we want to get better. We work hard to do that, but we also want to give back.
Yeah.
We want to share with our community, and we've been so blessed and the relationships that we have, the vendors, the subcontractors, our counterparts all over the country that are landscaping and doing the things that we do. We want to give back and help out, in that arena as well. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Our town, Dallas,
Yes.
we do things big in Texas, easy to get to. The weather should be pretty decent. What are some things name one thing about the place or something that's different from 10 years ago?
Yeah, so we've maximized all of our office space, and we'd have to build another building on property and things to do it. But, our efficiencies have really come a long way from our PM crew that we operate. That's something that we can
Yeah,
definitely share
cool.
and deal with. And it works great for us. It minimizes overtime. It keeps our team fresh. Our team overall, the metrics that they're measuring and what they're performing against. I think our product has really developed in terms of our design and what we're doing, the maintenance care team and just the way that they're so good and so fast about communication.
Yeah.
they're able to go ahead and turn in an instant service request while they're on the field taking a picture of a branch that needs to be trimmed properly with a proper handsaw. When the crew's out there, they can take a picture, they can send that hot service request in. There's a system and a process for it. It comes in, it's automatically printed off, and it's on that crew's schedule sheet when they go out there next time. And then the crew can take that snapshot showing where it was done, and it goes back in, and there's a record of it being completed. So we can send that on to the homeowner, the management company, whoever it is, that these are the things that we actually achieved on your property here this week or this month, those kind of things.
Great.
Yeah,
man. I'm super stoked to host. I don't have to go very far from Frisco.
Right.
You're literally like throw a rock at your place. So we'll be there 1 year from now, next February 2026. Go see Gene, Chris, and his entire Complete Landsculpture team. It's going to be fascinating. This is hot off the press, like super going to go back to the team and go, man, guess what we get to do?
The team doesn't even know.
Team doesn't even know.
So today they're going to find out, and everyone else finds out in here.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Like, whoa. So yeah, we're looking forward to the energy and stepping up to the challenge. You know.
Well, Gene, it's a pleasure. You're just an awesome individual. You mean a lot to me personally and the entire industry. To see you grow and develop and share all your knowledge. I mean, you don't have to be doing this. You don't have to be sitting here, but this is for our audience to learn more about you and the team and get a little more nuggets.
Sure.
Like, as you mentioned, along the way to make you guys better at whatever stage you are in your business, ownership to field. Come listen to us, put it on in the pickup truck, driving to jobs, and get a few nuggets and learn. And we make this industry better by sitting here and taking time to do this.
Couldn't say any better. Chris and I are humbled, and we're honored to be asked to do it.
Cool. Thank you for your time, bud.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Ready to take the next step? Download our free profitability scorecard to quickly create your own baseline financial assessment and uncover the fastest ways to improve your business. Just go to mcfarlandstanford.com/scorecard to get yours today. To learn more about McFarland Stanford, our best-in-class peer groups, and other services, go to our website at mcfarlandstanford.com, and don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next time on The Roots of Success.